Hey everybody, welcome back. So, many people probably been looking and seeing the front of the house with the Lowe's wrap, even though we do most of our shopping at Home Depot, but hey, it is what it is. So, in there, as you notice, we've got it mostly done. We'll be going back over that, finishing that up later on, but we're going to start in the cladding. We're probably just going to go up to the height of the doors and the windows that you see in the background, but there's a couple things that I learned when I was doing some research, and I want to let you know. So one of them is we had planned on maybe adding some extra insulation. Ideas been kind of tossed around. We weren't sure if we were not, maybe putting some foam board or something. But after we did some research, when we go to do that, this insulation is going to cut down on the airflow that falls behind the cladding. So we're going to go ahead and not do that. We've already insulated the house, we think, pretty well, so that should help. But this is going to help for moisture, any of the other kind of stuff, to be able to make sure that the boards are able to breathe and as well dry in case they get wet for whatever reason. It allows that to happen so that condensation, mold, or any of that other stuff doesn't build up behind it. As you can see, the wrap is kind of our moisture barrier that we have here. We know we had some questions on some of the other videos about different kinds of wraps and things like that for colder weather. We're here in Texas. We don't really have the extreme climates. We just have the hot, dry summers for the most part. So we're not worried about doing any extra vapor barriers and stuff like that. The traditional house wrap usually works for our area, and that's what they do in most of the newer homes. So that's what we got. As we go along with the video, I'll probably point out a couple other things that we learned along the way and go from there. So, let's get started. So for most of our work, we're going to be using some 2-inch nails. One thing I did want to point out that I forgot earlier, when we looked up this here, I wanted to make sure, because this is exterior door, even if we were going to paint it or you're just staining it, an oil-based stain like we're going to be doing, the nails that you use, you still want to use exterior nails. You have the option of stainless steel. We're going with the galvanized nails. To help make sure that they don't rust, and that rust comes off the nail and drips down the wall. And you may have seen that in some other things where wood's exposed to the outside. So this is what we're using for our nails out here. Alright, so we got the battens in place for the section we're going to do. We're just going to do the front section, probably up to the height of the door and the windows, and just kind of stop there, take a look and see how it goes, and see what we got from there. So, as we mentioned, we've already done with the battens, and now we got the part where we got to stain the wood and put our grooves in there for the horizontal boards of the cladding. I've got two different, or two routers. They're actually the same brand, but different ages, I guess you can call it. The reason I'm using two is because the groove that I'm going to be putting on the top board and the groove that I'm going to be putting on the bottom inside are going to be 2 different sizes. So we're using 2 different routers, that way I don't have to keep going back trying to adjust the sizes and the templates. So that way I can just get smoother cuts, and that way hopefully they should be all more congruent. So. Easy to gap down a little more pronounced. As we're going up on this side, mainly on the sides where the wall meets the container, we'll have the same issue on that side over there where the wall meets the container. Because the containers aren't exactly perfectly, they got little dents and dips. I think this one here, you can kind of see the little channel right there where it looks like it got bent out a little bit. So it gets narrower and then it widens up at the top. So that's why I can't just go and put them all at 19.5 inches. Once I start getting the middle section, the distance is going to shrink. So I noticed like around here, we're at less than 19.25 inches. So the angle in the wall affects my cuts. So I got to measure these. Hopefully when I get between the windows, those will be more stationary, so I can just go and cut those all with the same thing. So. As you notice, we're staining as we go along. It was just something we decided to do while we're doing it. And it's working because I'm able to cut, get them measured, and put them up. She's able to stain as we go along. Seems to be working, seems to be saving time. We had an issue with deciding whether we want to use nails or screws. Kind of went back and forth on those. But after we thought about it and the way it's looking, you really can't tell the difference. And even if we're using the screws, you'd still have to screw them in and either possibly cover them with wood tape or just hope that the screws match well with the color. So that's what we're doing.
My hands is ashy.
They're working hands.
So since we had a couple of more rainy days, I thought I would go ahead and put the wood flooring planks in the second bedroom. I got that all complete. Turned out really good. And then putting up this fabric on a wall, making an accent wall. Didn't really think you wanted to see me watch me walk through that again, so just wanted to show. Next, all we have to do in this room is add crown molding and baseboards.
So, no? No?
No.
All right. We got a different camera, man? We get it? This is all we got?